I'm Victoria, coming to you live from the studio, aka my closet. I'm really feeling like a low-budget Harry Potter, and that's saying something if you've seen its living conditions. I'm getting suffocated with the fumes of mosquito repellent that I've sprayed onto my clothes because of the mosquito infestation in our school. And this is speaking to the void. This podcast is kind of a walkthrough of my mind and whatever's happened in the week. For this first episode, I'll do a little bit of a get to know me and talk a bit about the topics I might bring up. So first I'm going to get into the topics and viewpoints that I have and stuff I just might get into in the future. First, mental health. I really want to spread awareness. I do suffer or have depression. It can be a suffering kind of feeling though sometimes. And I have anxiety, but I'm trying to get through it, and I'll share my experience, and maybe we can all learn from it. I'm also going to talk about some political views like human rights and women's rights. Like, I think no matter if you choose to be religious or not, you should have the right to your own body. No one should be able to make a decision for you. Like whether you get an abortion or not, no one should decide who you marry or what person you marry as long as you are an adult and it's mutual and consensual. Sometimes I feel like the legal age of adulthood should be at least 20. I feel like we'd be avoiding lots of problems. And we'd have more time to, live, I guess. Live a little more, learn a little more. And, by then you're in college, doing whatever you choose. And you've aged, 2 more years and no longer are a teen. And you might have a little more of an idea what you'd like to do with your life. I think drinking and smoking of any kind should be at, age 25. Because that's the usual age your brain is fully developed. And you could handle it more. Some places won't even let you rent a car unless you're 25. It's probably for a reason. But that's just my opinion. And you can believe whatever you want. I just hope you don't force your opinion on someone who doesn't harmfully affect anyone around them. And speak on that. Okay. Anyways, here's a little bit about me now that we're done with that. I'm 16 years old. My top 3 movies are Moonrise Kingdom, which is a Wes Anderson sort of love movie, romance movie with a lot of, childlike aspects, but it's definitely for all ages. Buffalo 66, which is kind of, I don't know, you kind of have to watch it. It's kind of like an odd film. And 10 Things I Hate About You, which is, of course, a romance, a play on Shakespeare, sort of modernized, and it's funny. I love modernized Shakespeare, especially as a comedy. And I also really like horror movies, so I can't really make a list about all the horror movies, but I really do like Terrifier and Nosferatu. You must do something. You must give yourself to me, or else everyone you love will die. Please, Ellen. I love you. Please. You have 3 days. Or else the rats will come, and my little ratatouille won't make you the Italian food anymore. Or is it French food? I don't know. My favorite genres are horror comedies and rom-coms, which is I get really anxious, so I need a little bit of comic relief. I love it with dark humor or dry humor. And because I don't know, I kind of have that. I'm really dry and I'm really sarcastic, and I know it's not usually funny, but I don't know. My favorite shows are End of the Fucking World and End of the Effing World and What We Do in the Shadows. But I also really like American Horror Story and fake reality docuseries TV like The Office or Arrested Development. I like silly vampires and fantasy creatures. I love Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, obviously. I was diagnosed as a Hufflepuff, which is kind of a fatal disease, and I find it kind of concerning because I feel like Hufflepuffs get a lot of bad rep about puffing certain smokes out of their mouth. Anyway, did anyone else have like a Draco Tom Felton obsession during the pandemic? Okay. I ship Hermione and Draco. I love them. I ship them for life. For life. Chica what? Okay, that was bad. Okay. I've had like the most major crush on Finn Wolfhard since like 2017 or 18. Maybe even 2016, but I don't know. Like, at least since I was 7, I've been like in love with the idea of him. So like 9 years, something like that. But I went to see his live Q&A of Hell of a Summer, and I was just like having the majorest like anxiety attack. And then I was like, I don't know this guy, and he's like 20, and he's not even anything like the Boris Pavlovsky fan fiction. So why do I like him so much? Like, he doesn't even speak Russian. She doesn't even go here. He doesn't even speak Russian. Anyways, but yeah, that kind of ended all sort of parasocial relationships for me. But I still love his music. Going to Seattle on the Greyhound. Shout out to Calpurnia. Shout out to the Aubreys. Shout out to Finn Wolfhard. Check him out on Spotify. He does look like he's been doing meth on the streets for like ever. Like, ever since he turned like 21, he's looking like he's dying. So that was a major turnoff. But yeah, do you guys ever see someone and you're like, yeah, they were undercooked, or like you're like, they were definitely breastfed, like their mom held them extra. I feel like Samba. I feel like Somber looks like he was never breastfed, but he looks like overcooked. You know what I mean? Like, he just stayed there a little too long and then he got fed formula. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Like, he just looks so unwell. I think he might be a skinwalker. Oh my god. Do you guys believe in, like, ghouls and ghosts? I had a dream about my cat being super long and, like, chonky. And she was, like, walking on 2 legs. Like, she would lie down on the ground and then rise up like Nosferatu, and she would walk on 2 legs, and she would come up to me and say, "Feed me, mother. Mother, feed me. I hunger, mother. I hunger and you must feed me." And I kept having to, like, push her back, and, like, I would push her back with my mind because I knew it was a dream. So I was like, this is a dream. And every time I would push her back, the dream would reset and she'd be like, "I hunger." And I was like, "You're not my cat. You're not my cat. You're not my cat." And I was trying to wake up because I knew I was dreaming. And, like, that was crazy. It took me a while to get up. But I used to see a lot of ghosts as a kid. And I would have a lot of dreams like that. Well, not like that. That was like a nightmare, kind of a silly one. But I would, like, have a lot of dreams about ghosts. But now I just, like, block it all out. Like, my family practices, like, a religion that heavily believes in, like, ghosts and possession and stuff like that. Which I just choose not to believe because I don't want it to be real. Guys, in the big 2025, I'm pulling a 1950s man move. I don't want to believe in it just because it's not real. Women don't have brains because I don't believe in them. I'm just kidding. I definitely believe women have brains. but that was my impression of a 1950s man, something like that. Okay. But, like, I'm still scared to, like, sleep alone, and because I don't want to have nightmares, but at least, like, I don't see it when I'm awake or in a dream, you know? I've often had, like, premonitions in my dreams of, like, things that would happen to me eventually. Of, like, things that would happen to me eventually. Or just things that would happen in general. Like my aunt dying. I remember waking up sobbing. And then my mom was like, well, that's not gonna happen. So, then it did. But, I also, like, had a dream about an apartment my mom was gonna get. And I remember after, like, moving in, I was like, wait, this is the place I dreamed about. Except, like, in that dream, it was, like, covered in cobwebs, and the manager was holding a candle leading us through it. Which is weird, right? But, yeah. I have, like, a lot of dreams that happen, like, later in my life or, like, the next day. And I'll wake up sometimes, like I'll have a dream about a dream I had before, and it kind of continues like an episode, but the dream will come years later, like as if it's a TV show. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys ever have that? Where I'm like, I remember in the dream, the past dream, and then I'm not sure if it was a real dream in the first place because I haven't dreamt it in so long. But yeah. I'll realize, like, I'm redreaming it, if that's a word, and I'll wake up. The scariest dreams I've had are from when I first moved to Burbank, and it was also, like, the most haunted place I've ever been to. And from, like, the moment I moved in, I'd see this lady with no eyes and, like, shiny black hair, and, like, she was, like, in a dress. And, like, at first my mom was like, it's not real. It's not real. And then, literally, my mom saw it, and my cousins saw it. I didn't even tell my cousins about it. But 2 times, 2 different cousins saw it. And, like, she was, like, always there, and she would, like, talk to me, and she would, like, walk around places, and I would have dreams about her all the time. One time I had a dream where she was chasing me, and she was, like, upside down, like, her stomach was up, like, to the sky, but she was on all 4s. You get what I'm saying? Kind of like when those, like, gymnasts do that, but she was crawling like that towards me super fast, and it was, like, terrifying. And I've also had, like, some sleep paralysis. Like, I would see a black shadowy figure upside down in the corner of my room, kind of like Spider-Man. But I only saw him, like, once or twice. I mostly saw the girl, and one time I did have sleep paralysis about her, and it was so terrifying. I don't even know if it was sleep paralysis, but I was definitely awake, but I was seeing her. I remember I was awake because my dog was there, and she was still in the same position when I woke up, so I was like, okay, so it can't be like a dream. But yeah. Other ghosts I saw there were, like, an old man with a walker. I saw him once. He was super tall. And a little girl who would, like, float. She had, like, blonde hair, overalls, and, like, it was, like, a green overall dress. And so I never wanted to be alone, obviously, or like in the dark. But when we finally moved out, it like stopped. Like I never saw any of those things again. But I'd still hear things like shouting or like walking super loud, or like watching me while I sleep or try to sleep. When I had dogs, they'd see it too, so I don't think I was crazy, but yeah, I've just blocked it all out and I haven't seen those things again. But guys, tell me in the comments below if I should stop blocking it out and if I should go ghost hunting and investigating and read them yaoi. Okay,